All right, first things first, let's talk about what we've got. We've got the track guide, just the unit itself. We've got the carabiner that goes with it. We've got these two top pieces, and then each of those has two screws. And then finally, this is the clip that you could put to hold the whole thing on a harness, and it comes with its own little screw. All right, so I put the screws in a little bowl just so I don't lose them. Then we've got this star nut piece. So not a Phillips, not a flathead, it's a star. We're going to use that, which fits the screws here. So the screws have that little piece there. First thing we need to do is just take the front of this. I always just choose the right side just because I'm always doing the same one. And this little hook piece, we're going to unscrew that. And the way to do that is flip it over and unscrew this bolt. It's the same screw that is on, that came with those other pieces. All right, so let's do that. We'll take that, we'll just flip it over, and we're going to take out this nut, this screw, I mean. All right, and when I do that, it'll loosen up this hook, completely take out that hook. The only reason we're taking out this piece is so that we can fit the carabiner on. Now, as you can see in the picture, this shows the carabiner closing attachment on this orange side. So that's how we're going to set it up. We're going to set it up so that it's also on this orange side. Now we do have to take this off to put this carabiner on. The way we do that, open up the carabiner, hook it through, and when it's about halfway through here, it'll fit over and be able to hang down. Now it looks like it is with the picture, with the opening on this side, not the opening on the black back side. So on that front side. So then all we have to do is take the piece we just took off, that hook, put it back on, screw it back down. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now I will tell you that if I'm doing a bunch of these, I will use an electric drill just to go the in and out further. You just at this last second here piece, you don't want to crank it down too hard, but hard enough that it is in fact hand tight. So nice and tight right there. Now this thing is still waggly, but that's okay because we're going to install these two pieces on there to keep it from shifting around so much. Oh, I really only need this one. I was wrong. So we're going to just take this, put it down on the top, and then take the two screws and screw that piece in. We get it started by hand. Now it's got a little bit of a spring in there, so you do have to push these down hard enough to get them in. This piece wants to not push down. And the reason there's that little spring in there is it's keeping this carabiner, where my thumb is right now, from moving. So you want to line it up so it is straight. It'll be able to wiggle left and right, and you do want to be able to do that. And again, we're going to screw it down until it's hand tight. That screw is not likely to go in. Whoops, let's do a different one. Yep, it's centered. A little harder by hand with the hand screwdriver doing each and every one. But you do want to do these evenly. And it goes further than you think because you've got that spring in there pushing it back out. And you do want this to be nice and smooth along here. This little edge, you don't want that popping up. That's how you know it got pushed in far enough and that the spring didn't go. And then you can see that it now keeps the carabiner in. That's that piece we just put in. It can still wiggle a teensy bit, but not shift side to side. So the whole thing is staying mostly upright. It will move, that's the spring. So it does have some movement, but it also rights it. So if you push down, it should go back to center and do it on both sides. And that just keeps it going upright every time. That's how you put them together. It's that simple. It's now ready to ride. One last piece, we do have this little belt clip. This could go on a harness. So you could clip this onto the edge of a harness, and you have this little tiny screw that if you want to put it on a harness, you can have it be there semi-permanently so it won't slip off, which is good because you don't want to lose the little piece here. But that just screws in. That would keep it tight. And then the carabiner, when you have people walking, instead of it just dangling and hanging, it'll fit right in like that. So it just goes right in. And that way when they're walking, that can be like on their waist belt.